Hello everyone, it is the SeaTactics and welcome to my review of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Episode 10, we're almost done with this series. We only have 2 episodes left, and episode 10 was an action-packed one. It had so much action in it. Of course, I'm kidding. It had a hell of a lot of politics in it. So, to preface this video, before we get into it, I just want to say I'm really bad when it comes to politics in anime, but I do like discussing it when it comes to Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Even if I do get it wrong, I have every week people point out to me, you got this wrong, or you misunderstood what was happening here, or whatever it may be. So for you guys, every week who comment telling me I'm wrong on stuff, I appreciate it. It may not seem like it at times, but I definitely appreciate it because it lets me understand the world of Legend of the Galactic Heroes even more. And before we get into this, I read somewhere that they cut out a lot of the OVA original stuff for episode 10. There was supposed to be a bunch of stuff in between this, I believe, or maybe afterwards, and they're going to cut that stuff out. I don't know. I just thought that was a cool fact there. If anyone can confirm that in the comment section, that would be pretty cool. So anyways, yeah, let's get into this. Episode 10 of Legend of the Galactic Heroes starts with the leader of Phezin discussing the Alliance's attack on the Empire. He already knows a lot about it, and here we learn the Alliance will send 30 million people into battle. But with this, it was kind of all his plan, as the person he was talking to was the Empire's High Commissioner. Just like him not telling the Empire that the Alliance would attack during Isilon, this is also part of his plan to, in a way, tip the balance back in favor of the Empire so that the leader of Phezin, the Phezining, as we call him now, can remain in power, his position of power. It seems like this guy, I mean, he knows so much about both sides. And I wonder just how much more he knows, because he didn't tell the Empire about the attack on Isilon, which was a huge get for the Alliance, which in turn made them really cocky. So I have a feeling, well, he said later on that he wanted to see how it would play out, and he never thought the Alliance would overtake them. I have a feeling he's rectifying his mistake here, because I think to him, while it's not the biggest mistake, it is somewhat of a mistake that he himself kind of created. He could have, maybe not created, but he could have avoided, I guess. It's a little bit of a problem for him, but I think that this guy, he knows so much about so many things that he could make many mistakes and it really not be a big problem for him. But that's kind of the way I see it. And I wonder if he is doing this to remain in control so one side doesn't take down, Phezin or overtake Phezin, because I think he's like the middleman that you didn't know was the middleman in many ways. So he's just a very interesting piece of the puzzle, Phezin is. But this man is very smart, more aware and conniving than anyone in the Alliance or any of the Empire's leaders. So we'll have to see how the Phezining deals with this going forward, and what his role even. Really, we already kind of know what his role is, but showing more of his role in this and more of his true colors, I guess. He's a smart man. He's the smartest man in this show right now, for sure. He's got the keys to the kingdom, and he lets all the other people play with those keys. He's like the adult of this whole situation, and the Alliance and the Empire are warring, or are brothers that are like don't like each other right now, and he's like, alright, well, I'll let you pretend like you think you know it all and you think you're in control, but I can take that away if I wanted, because I am the neutral. He's almost the neutral evil in many ways. So we'll see how that plays out later on. Then we pop in with Odin, who are discussing Reinhard and his role within this whole situation. They talk about him that basically if he wins this battle with the Alliance, he'll be in favor of the Kaiser, which would make him almost unstoppable, but they rather swiftly agree that after this war he will be kind of useless to the Empire, and they can stop down an upstart at any time, so he's a non-factor and they're going to use him. And I think they're severely underestimating Reinhardt here. I even think they're playing into his hand. I think Reinhardt kind of knows what's going on right now, how he's being looked upon, and I think he knows that other people kind of have a feeling of what's going on here. I think one of the comments section, maybe it was when I did episode 8, someone said that they're not completely oblivious to Reinhardt's actions. It's kind of obvious, and I kind of agree with that. It seems at this point in the series, it's very obvious. People know Reinhardt's intentions, maybe not certain, for 100% fact, but they definitely know that Reinhardt is planning something. So it'll be interesting to definitely see this unfold in particular as more of the episodes go on and as we get the 3 films we're getting in the future. How Reinhardt is going to use all of this to his advantage, and if he is able to do so, I think we're definitely going to see in the future an empire where Reinhardt is the leader of the empire. He's the Kaiser, I guess. He's definitely gonna. I think he's gonna overthrow it. And I have a theory on this, and it's not really a complete theory. This is one I just put a couple minutes thought into while I was watching the episode. So here's my theory: Reinhardt repels the Alliance thanks to the Fezzening, and gains enough power in the Empire to overthrow the Kaiser. This leads to Reinhardt setting free the Empire, kind of. They're not really trapped or anything like that, but I think you get what I mean. The Alliance now put in their... they're basically put in their place. And from this, we kind of get a reset of both sides. And then I think what's going to happen is the Fezzening is probably going to get taken down in this. And I think the Fezzening is going to be revealed to whose side he's really on and his role in this whole war. I don't know. That's my theory on it. It's not the best theory, but it is a theory. Then, back at the Alliance, they now go over all the 13 fleets which will be in the attack on the Empire. Yang will once again take on the 13th fleet, and the total number is 30 million, as revealed earlier in the episode, which is about 60% of the Navy, I think is what Yang said. And this makes Yang question the price they paid at Iserlohn, and if that was enough, because since then the Alliance have gotten really cocky, and because they were so, it was almost a decisive victory that the Alliance had, where they lost, I don't even think they lost anyone. They just basically walked in and took over Iserlohn. It was kind of easy. So the Alliance have definitely gotten cocky here, and I think Yang almost regretted, and it's such a messed up thing to say, but I think Yang almost regretted such a decisive victory. Maybe it would have been better if they lost more, because that would have made the Alliance think twice. That would haven't got the Alliance so cocky about their position in this war right now. And I definitely think it's a mistake what the Alliance is doing here. But Falk doesn't, as Falk has something to say when he basically tries to tear down Yang and make him look bad to gain favor amongst the people that are there. But afterwards, Yang is told that Falk did this because, Yang is Falk's obstacle to becoming the highest ranking official. But the way that Falk is doing it makes the other officials very worried, and so Yang's resignation that he gave last episode is now rejected, and they know now that Falk is in this position where he shouldn't be, and they want Yang to be kind of this arbiter of the peace of the military, and they want Yang to be the highest ranking official, so they can basically say to people like Falk, hey, get the Falk out of here, bro. Get the Falk out of here and get rid of the people like that who only want to use their power for, dumb reasons, like the reasons Falk is. And we'll talk more about Falk later. He's a fucking ass. But poor Yang, he always gets sucked back into this war machine. In this episode, his resignation was rejected, and you could see it in his eyes and the way he reacted of just, oh, well, I can't say I'm surprised by this, but I'm a little sad right now. I probably need a hug. And I would definitely give Yang a hug in this situation, because it was obvious that he was excited to get out of the position he is in, and now that he is sucked back into this, and now they will not give him his resignation, and now they want him to be the highest ranking official in the Alliance, so that he can decide whether people are worthy or not. He's gonna be working this job forever. I think he's not going to get the peaceful, easy living, as the Eagles would say, that he wanted, which, kind of sucks. And I wonder if Falk will become an actual problem later within the movies and the end of the series. So, I don't know about that. But during all of this, there is one important thing I do want to talk about. Yang basically asks, do the people of the Empire even need to be freed? Or would they rather just want true peace? And I like this, because this shows that the people in the Alliance think that the people of the Empire are basically being, all these terrible things are happening to them. They're being tortured, they're suppressing their freedoms, and they're starving, and these poor people, when it's obviously that's not the case. The truth is that likely the Empire wants as much freedom as the Alliance does, but the way the Alliance are going about it means more war and more bloodshed, which the Empire, the people of the Empire basically don't want. I don't think either side wants it. I think this is one of those situations where it's the military, where it's the government getting out of control and fueling a war machine before their beliefs. And not letting some things be that should have been let been. I don't know. But I guess now we should talk about Falk. He's just a really big asshole doofus. He fears the Empire more than anything, and because of this, overestimates the Empire. He even describes them as tyrannical. It's really laughable how out of touch Falk is. But moving on to the last scene of this episode, because it's really something. It really is. Reinhard is basically giving a speech to his fleet or whatever, and he tells them their plan of what they're going to do here. But Reinhard makes it aware that he wants to eliminate all 30 million of the Alliance's fleet and completely crush them. But his plan is that to pull this off, they're going to have to lure the Alliance closer to the Empire itself, which is a huge risk, and for his crew comes as a complete shock, because, why wouldn't it? I really do want to see this be pulled off, because if they do succeed in their plan, this will cripple the Alliance, no doubt. Losing 30 million people in a battle, 60% of your military, that the Alliance was supposed to win. Wow, that's almost like the first two episodes, where they came in and the Alliance was supposed to basically, or the Empire was supposed to win, and if it wasn't for Yang, really Yang, without Yang, there is no Alliance in this battle. The whole reason Alliance is even doing as well as they are is all because of this one man, which is crazy to think about, that he commanded this many people, and he's the reason the Alliance are even in the position they are. They would have been crushed long ago by the Empire at this point. But as for this plan, I could definitely see it backfiring for both the Empire and the Alliance. They both can lose too much in this battle, leaving both crippled, that would be devastating, because you always want a decisive, clear victor in a battle. I don't think that having one side, or having both sides kind of like destroy each other, and then having the pheasanting come in and kind of take over. I don't think that's what the pheasanting wants, but I think that that's an option they could do for sure. He could do. But I think the Empire will have to take this one. I think the Empire's going to win. The Alliance are just too cocky right now and fear the Empire more than they think they can beat them, it seems. They have all of these preconceived notions about what the Empire is and the people that are there. So, we'll see. We'll see how all this plays out. This was a good episode, but it was a lot of talking. It was just dialogue the whole time. There really was no action. It wasn't anything like the last episode at all. And this episode was kind of like, let's sit down in a room and talk politics. And I've missed a lot. I didn't talk about a lot of it. And the reason I didn't talk about a lot of it is because I didn't want to make myself look completely idiotic. Because these videos, as you guys know, sometimes I mess up on them. And I don't want to talk about the things that I don't know for sure, or at least I have an understanding of, I guess. But yeah, there's more details in this, for sure. If anybody has any more details they want to share or want to talk about, down in the comments below, I am all ears. Do you guys have any theories on this series as of now? I'm really interested to see where this story is going to head. I think I say this every time I do a video on Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but it's the truth. I'm really interested to see where these character threads are going, where the Alliance and the Empire and the pheasanting are going, and their roles and everything, and I'm really interested to see the outcomes of these battles, because with these it's so weird. It's almost like wrestling. I'm a really big wrestling fan, pro wrestling fan, and it's always interesting to see how a storyline progresses in pro wrestling, and it's almost like I'm rooting for a favorite wrestler, or I'm trying to like guess who is the best person to win this, and how it could, extend the story here, or add a cool, interesting element in the story there, or whatever. I'm interested in the outcomes of these battles, because whoever wins these battles, there are huge ramifications for this whole world. And that's what I think this anime does really well, is that it builds up these conflicts, and they're meaningful conflicts, and by the end of these huge conflicts that are massive, 30 million people massive, we get to see who reaps the benefits from this, how this carries over into the next part, the next episode, the next arc of the series. I don't know. It's super interesting. It's compelling. It's a space opera. It's a space opera. It's huge. It's just completely enthralling. I love it. I love Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It's good for that reason, because it's so different. It's not like any other anime I've ever watched, in my opinion. And I've watched a lot of Gundam stuff, so I've watched some space operas before. Star Wars. Star Wars is not as good as Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Just saying. Star Wars wishes they could be Legend of the Galactic Heroes. But yeah, what do you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Put it down in the comments below. As well, make sure to subscribe if you're stopping by, and ring the bell so you get instant notifications, instant feedback, sub box, so you'll see it instantly when it pops up. Make sure to like this video, and share it on Twitter with your friends or any other social media you can. I'd very much appreciate it. I appreciate all the support you are willing to give me. It means quite a bit. It helps me out. It makes me happy. I love seeing that stuff. So, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's better than the last one in terms of mistakes. But we'll see.